Now today we're discussing the career of Bone Crusher. Crusher is most well known for his debut album and consequent reality TV star status. He is also a successful entrepreneur, father, activist, and husband.
So I'm outside of the club and you think I'm a punk.
What up guys, Ali here and welcome to Ali Talks Music. Add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music as well. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the video. The man was born around 1971 in Atlanta, Georgia. He was very close with his father in his youth. We would always go to Alabama in one of his amazing cars. That trip meant so much to me because it was just me and him. My fondest memory was how he always supported me in my music career. He always told me never stop, never quit, stay true to what you're doing, and go for it.
As a child, I grew up in a small shelter. Sheltered. Kept away from the other children. They locked me in the rooms, and what I did was I used to talk to myself on a regular basis. And I came with this character. This name is Bone Crusher.
Before he became a successful rapper, he married his ride or die Anissa around 1994 after only dating for about 2 years. The two were heavily involved in each other's careers. They founded the First Chance Variety House as well as a record label together. Anissa also became his manager, and they would eventually parent 5 beautiful children as a team.
You know, how you like working with your husband?
Oh my God, it's the best thing in the world. We get to do everything together.
Everything.
But we're best friends, so it makes it easy.
Be good.
You know, it makes it easy. You know, we started day one from the first day I met him. We spent every day together since that first day.
Bone Crusher earned his nickname in high school, and prior to finding his path in music, worked as a chef at the Waffle House and Atlanta's Yin Yang Cafe. The cafe is where he first began branching out into the music world, occasionally performing with a band called The Chronicle. However, it was around 1996 before he truly started marketing his voice, selling hooks and songs to rappers like Bow Wow, Too Short, and Outkast. He also joined a group called Lyrical Giants with fellow group mates Baby B and Bizarre. The Giants bounced from label to label, releasing only a handful of songs, but hey, they got to work with impressive figures in the industry, including Too Short and Erick Sermon. After eventually finding their feet with Jermaine Dupri on So So Def, the group broke up, with each member going solo. Now despite breaking up, they remained on good terms, and Bone Crusher's former group mates ended up on his debut album. The next few years were a bit strange for Crusher. He essentially disappeared before coming back with his debut album around 2003 called Attention. Now when I think about Bone Crusher, the first thing that comes to mind is, so I'm outside of the club and you think I'm a punk. Never Scared, featuring T.I. and Killer Mike, was a huge song for Bone Crusher. It was so successful, it became the theme song for the Atlanta Braves and was featured in the video game Madden NFL 2004. Now everybody knows that Never Scared was a huge song. It put Bone Crusher on the map. However, according to sources, Bone Crusher stole the song from other rappers.
I wrote the song, we wrote the hook and a lot of the inlay for the song, but we didn't have a track for it. Finally, we got a track for it, laid the song down, kind of mulled around the song in Atlanta for a little while. Finally, the radio station, one of the DJs at the radio station heard it. Took it to the radio station. It was one of the biggest hits ever in Atlanta. I mean, everybody know that, you know, dude tried to do what he did with the song, and, you know, Jermaine did what he did with the song, but it's like, hey, they never, once the song got to #1, we did a cease and desist. I mean, literally stopped hearing that song. Facts. I mean, you could Google it.
Yeah. What you mean?
Right.
What you mean you stop hearing it?
Cease and desist means that you have to stop even playing this. This is every radio station everywhere on earth. Once our lawyer saw that it went #1, and it's totally real. Our song was #1 and Banner's song was #2. And he called us, you know, when a song goes #1, your lawyer called you with, all happy.
Yeah.
This wasn't one of them calls. He called us all sad. You know what we got to do? Do it. Because this is just crazy. But you don't hear that song. You still don't hear that song on the radio. Do you?
Yeah.
Well, you hear our version of it because our version is the real version of it.
Yeah, the original.
But what I'm saying is you don't hear that song on a national level.
Bone Crusher's success continued into the following year, earning him the cover of PlayStation Magazine and a character on Def Jam Fight for NY. He even founded his own water company called Aqua Vigor, although it didn't last. I don't drink alcohol, but I figured everybody drinks water. In addition to these accolades, he was publicly recognized as one of the forefathers of crunk and planned to introduce a new kind of music, which he called fight music, through his sophomore album. Fight music was made in just 1 month and was supposed to debut with the single Take Your Clothes Off. We have crunk music. Now we have something I call fight music. Fight music is everything. The hustle, the struggle, the street. Take Your Clothes Off, it's probably the epitome of fight music. It's fun. We gotta fight to party, fight to live, fight to rejoice. That's what the whole song is about. Everybody, let's have a good time and party. There's a lot of issues out here in America. One thing they can't take away from you is your right to party. Unfortunately, Arista suffered several label issues, leading to the album being pushed back. Now when Arista combined with J Records, Bone Crusher's album was shelved indefinitely. Later when So So Def moved to Virgin, Crusher left the label alongside collaborator Young Bloods and pursued his own independent career. This is when he first began to distance himself from music. He had an outgoing personality, so it wasn't long before Bone Crusher was being called to take part in movies and reality TV. His first credit was in 2004's Toi the Escort, soon followed by 2006's ATL and 2007's Dead Heist.
You may be able to flip the script on Kyria, but when it comes to me, game recognized game.
And Motives 2, Retribution. He even made a cameo on Scary Movie 4 and competed in Season 4 of Celebrity Fit Club.
Bizarre is a friend of mine who I owe some money to. Keep calling me about it. I'm just playing. But he hooked me up with the show because he was on last season, and he said, "Yo, man, you should do it." So, they reached out to us, reached out to them, and the rest is history.
Following his massive victory on the show, he decided to return to music and told everybody that he would be relaunching his label Vainglorious Entertainment with his wife Anissa Hardnett. With radio being what it is, it's not necessarily about going to radio with a record. It's about developing artists from the ground up. And this gives us that opportunity. We can keep things initially under the radar without the pressures and expectations of a major. Their first signees included hype hip-hop duo Tezzy and Young 20, the great Sean Falion, and the towering 6-foot-tall model turned rapstress Priscilla Divine. Anissa and I took our time choosing artists that best fit our company. We have big ideas, and when the label first started, I was the only artist. I recorded Never Scared, then Break 'Em Off entered the deal, then So So Def, then Arista. My label got pushed to the side because of all the hype of the song. Since then, I have had time to sit with the greats like Kevin Liles, Russell Simmons, and L.A. Reid, and truly understand this business. Now, despite the relaunch of his label, and probably due to internal complications, Crusher's sophomore album was released through Bodyhead rather than Vainglorious, and hit fans around 2006. The project, titled Release the Beast, was accompanied by the single Southern Gorillas. But both went virtually unnoticed on the charts. In addition, he dropped the mixtape Bad to the Bone, which also went ignored, and shared that he was working on a project in a band with a strange musical twist. Unlike his attempt to create fight music, this new genre would be a blend of metal, rap, and vocals, and would be a collaboration with Jim Johnson of The Unusual Suspects, Good Charlotte, and Billy Hume, to be released through Vainglorious. I got a bunch of crazy black boys that like that metal shit. That's why we named the band The Onslaught. And I'm not just rapping on this record. I do a little singing too. It's the perfect mix of rap and rock. Although the planned project never came to fruition, they did record a single together titled Come On, which made it to 2007's Stomp the Yard. Unfortunately for Bone Crusher, his career was fading more and more into the background. He dropped album number 3 through Vainglorious, but it tanked even worse than Release the Beast. After this, he continued to focus on reality TV and even did a bit of acting while still releasing music sporadically. In 2008, he made 3 appearances as a judge on Iron Chef America and released a workout DVD titled Battle of the Bulge.
Hey, this is Bone Crusher. You may remember me from Celebrity Fit Club, and I'm here to help you burn the excess fat, get more energy, and clean your inner system from the perspective of a fat guy.
Bone Crusher then went on to make more appearances in movies and TV shows. He appeared in 5 Days in the A, Show Me Your Atlanta, Minor League. He had a small part in Transformers, Dark of the Moon. He appeared in A Talent for Trouble, amongst others. And unfortunately thereafter, he took a bit of a break from music and acting both, later announcing that it was due to him wanting to focus on his children and family as a whole. My children grew up in the music business. My kids are well-rounded because they got the chance to experience in a way that most kids don't. They also got the chance to experience a real home and loving environment that I created for them. It made them become better citizens and humans, not just better children.
That's real. That's real. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know, when you find your best friend, it's hard to understand the gravity of that. That's a very serious situation that is based upon like more than love, right? Like creates love, it creates nostalgia, it creates the essence of life, and we are definitely in a very beautiful like relationship, which means that she's my best friend.
Now, after his break from music and film around 2012, the notoriously private actor virtually disappeared from the media entirely. He did trend briefly around 2013 after photographs of the bigger rapper surfaced of him riding around a mall in Minnesota in a motorized cart. Because of his rather impressive weight, many thought that he had simply gained too much weight to walk. But it was in fact due to an injury sustained in Germany when the rapper decided to jump off stage. Consequently, Bone Crusher had to get surgery that led to several weeks of recovery. That's why he was driving in the cart. And unfortunately, that's why he gained more weight. I'm definitely trying to lose weight. I want to get myself back down to where I was on Celebrity Fit Club. Now, after disappearing for several years, Crusher returned to the public again, this time focusing on his acting career. He appeared on the 3rd episode of What is America and followed it up with the movie Revolt Justice and another one called Deadly Dispatch around 2019.
And this movie is outstanding because you can't get away with it.
The only thing you're good at doing is eating and making money. And right now you only eat.
In 2020, he continued his streak with Pinch, and in 2021, he featured and produced a documentary. As of late, Bone Crusher doesn't seem to be releasing much music. It's almost like the guy gave up on the music industry as a whole. He isn't doing many features, he isn't making beats for anyone, and seems content with operating outside of the hip-hop space. In essence, Bone Crusher is essentially a one-hit wonder. He had a big hit with Never Scared, and ever since then he has failed to recapture the magic of that moment. You can find him on Twitter under the handle Bone Crusher ATL, but he isn't very active on this platform. You can also find him on Instagram under the handle The Real Bone Crusher, but his account is not verified. On Spotify, he has almost 290,000 monthly listeners. Never Scared appears a total of 3 times, as well as the songs Gripping, The Grain, and Back Up.
You know, the thing about us, man, which is our blessing and our curse as a people, is that we're very inventive. and we invent all the great things that society has taken from us, and they have made millions and billions of dollars off of it because we readily just let it go because we can make something else, right? So we go into a situation like hip hop, and we go through phases of hip hop. We go through phases of this type of sound, that type of sound. But a lot of times, what is happening now is that we have hit a wall, if you could say. The wall is now we have to become more creative, but we're not being more creative. We're now dumbing down. And once you start dumbing down something something that needs to be creative, you start to lose. You start to lose. People are starting to not even rap no more. They're starting to mumble on songs. Now you're getting a race of retardation. You don't want retardation in a situation where you got people that want something that's creative.
That's it for me, it's your boy Ali. What happened to Bone Crusher in your opinion? Let me know down below. Video requests, be sure to let me know down below as well. Also add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. Till next time, ho!
Perfect.